Nevada, it is the USL Championship tonight as the Las Vegas Lights welcome New Mexico United, presented by Wallet. Sean St. Jacques, Chris Nurse, our entire crew, it's a pleasure to have you with us as always. Storylines galore surrounding this one in the Western Conference of the USL Championship, just off the gorgeous Vegas Strip. And we begin by looking at the Las Vegas Lights' first game of the season, Chris, a 1-0 win at the expense of the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
When it's your day, and you see Las Vegas Lights getting lucky, getting what they deserved. I guess both fans would argue about this one, but definitely one of Pinzon's easier goals he'll score this season, and Nocerino wasn't complaining.
Antonio Nocerino, of course, winning his first game in charge as the new manager of Las Vegas after spending the season with Miami a season ago. And he's been stressing the energy, the continuity, and the effort, and he got that on the first game of the season against Tampa Bay.
New leadership for both of these teams. Going to be very interesting to see how things go forward. Of course, New Mexico lost Mac Watson's headed off to Dallas, and Nocerino's come across from Miami FC. New philosophies, new style, new coaching staff, new players. It's going to be very interesting to see how things unfold.
And Dennis Sanchez making his return after coaching Las Vegas to a Western Conference final. He's now the opponent tonight, and he brings with him a really good goal scorer in Greg Hurst.
Yeah, and I think this is what all teams need to be successful throughout the course of the season. We spoke about Markinich earlier throughout the course of the season, but Greg Hurst is that guy for this team. He's able to put the ball in the back of the net. He has good hold-up play, good movement in behind. Going to be very important to see how he starts the season.
Well, there's no question that Somos Unidos, their fans are here representing New Mexico. We're expecting, of course, a fantastic contingent from Las Vegas as well. Dennis Sanchez makes his big return to Las Vegas. The kickoff is next.
Desert Radiology is the area's chief resource for the highest quality medical imaging and dive. Visit desertrad.com. That's desertrad.com. Let's go Lights!
As a Great Clips salon stylist, I love giving customers the look they want. With Clip Notes, we save your haircut details, so it's one less thing for you to worry about. And when I see that confidence at the end of the cut, that's everything to me.
As a stylist, I know it can be hard to find time for a haircut. With the Great Clips app, you can put your name on the list from anywhere and head to the salon when it's time for your cut. A great haircut plus more time for what you love. That's Great Clips.
Today's match is brought to you by the Southern Nevada Water Authority. Remember to change your watering clocks for spring. Water plants and trees up to 2 days a week. And Great Clips. Sean St. Jacques, Chris Nurse back here with you. We jump into the starting lineups brought to you by Richard Harris Law Firm. Second game in charge for Antonio Nocerino, and he's got plenty of attacking firepower up front.
Yeah, and I think one of the most important things that he kept speaking about and repeating when we spoke to him this week was it was all about mentality, it was all about passion, it was all about intensity. He didn't speak too much about tactics or any of that. It was all about the mentality and the approach from the players.
Dennis Sanchez returns to Las Vegas tonight, and he also has a dandy of a squad with him.
Yeah, and I think his aspirations may be a little bit different than Nocerino's, given the form that New Mexico had last season. This is a team that was at the top of the season for the majority of the season. Obviously, the fans, the organization have an expectation, and he's going to need to maintain that and probably take it one step further.
We're off and running here at Cashman Field here in Las Vegas, Nevada. It is the Vegas Lights and New Mexico United. United are in all yellow. They're going from left to right, and Las Vegas are in their dark blues with the light blue shoulders. Happy to have you along with us tonight. It's a game that many people around the USL Championship circled on their calendars when the schedule came out. A quick return for Dennis Sanchez to Las Vegas, and it's Antonio Nocerino's side on the attack inside of the first 40 seconds, but it's a quick takeaway there. Makwele Akale helping New Mexico stretch their legs out a bit here on the near side, but the ball's just behind Greg Hurst. It's a Lights throw-in inside of a minute. Dennis Sanchez, what a season he had with this Las Vegas side. Got them to their first ever playoff appearance, and it turned into a deep run into a Western Conference final that they lost at Widener Field by 1-0 to the eventual champions, Colorado Springs. And along the way, they knocked out this New Mexico team on their home patch in the Western Conference semifinals. That's the last time these two organizations got together. Dennis Sanchez's side beating Eric Quill's boys on the night by a Corey Bennett 0-0 with about 4 minutes left of the 90.
And of course, he knows many of these Las Vegas players extremely well, so he'll be knowing what to expect from them tonight. Of course, it's under new leadership, and Nocerino has made it clear that mentality, approach, intensity is the starting foundation of what he's building in his squad. They got the win last week because of how they approached the game. He said there's many things technically they need to improve on, cohesive, that will come over time. But he said when they approach the game with that mentality, with that intensity, this is the foundation that the success will be built upon.
And again, New Mexico is going to be without Kalen Ryden tonight as well, sent off, straight red card against Sac Republic, so he serves a suspension tonight. That's a big loss. Dennis Sanchez was telling us about that earlier in the week and said, listen, last year with Vegas, 38 games they played. They had 34 different lineups throughout the season. There was a lot of chopping and changing. He's used to doing that, giving players opportunities and seeing how they still play for the collective. He always talks about not just the growth mindset, but making sure there's a really strong connectivity in the group and that there's good people in the group. And he feels like already they have that with this New Mexico United side. Yeah,
I think when you change lineups a lot, it has its pros and cons. You can lose the continuity and the chemistry that you have from having a consistent lineup each week, but it can also provide a lot of competition for places where players know that there is a chance to play and perform, and you can keep players a little bit fresher and healthier because the same group is not playing all the time. I think it does have its pros and cons, but I think the best players deserve to play, and you do have to have a level of consistency, especially with defense. Most coaches don't like to change their defense on a consistent basis because the ability to keep clean sheets is based upon timing and chemistry and cohesion together as a group. But I think there's pros and cons for both. At the end of the day, as a head coach, it's what brings you the best out of your players and what brings you success as a team. You're in the results business, so I think they're at the development stage. It's about winning games.
Elton Garcia is our head official tonight. He gave New Mexico a free kick there that they're using to keep the possession here. Talon Maples switches the point of the attack. Will Seymour for New Mexico on the near side. Zico Bailey for company. Anthony Herbert out to the far side. Chris Gloucester. Layoff by Hurst was nice. And the feed through the middle is going to find its way to Nicholas Amateur, who resets for the Lights. We showed you the highlights earlier. A 1-0 win for Vegas here last time out. A slice of fortune in all of that. Christian Pinzon, his first goal of the season off a miscue. The Rowdies at the back. As Vegas plays their way through nicely there. Edison Azcona's first chance to maybe move forward here, but he's swarmed by yellow shirts in the middle of the park. Marlon Vargas brings New Mexico forward. Vargas lays it off and then continued his run. It's crossed into the middle, but there was nobody there in a yellow shirt to attack it. It's cleared by Gennaro Nigro for the Lights.
Yeah, ball given away in the middle. More responsible possession of ball in the middle of the park.
Maples for Gloucester on the far side. We asked Dennis Sanchez, of course, about this return to his old employers here in Las Vegas, and well, before I even finished asking the question, he said, listen, I have to give a lot of respect to Jose Bautista and the ownership group for Las Vegas, giving him the chance to take over the club last season. And some people forget that Dennis Sanchez came in to coach Las Vegas weeks before they even started preseason. As Rodriguez threads the needle there, but Alex Tambakis is there for New Mexico. So he respected, first of all, Dennis Sanchez, the organization for Las Vegas, and he was excited to see some familiar faces. When he came back here today, we saw him walking around and catching up with a few people, but he says you have to try to remove the emotion in games like this. And it's easier said than done. He said, I don't know how I'm going to feel when I get back there, but have to respect the opposition, win the game, play it as if we normally would. And he said that was the message in training. It's a normal week. It's just another game. We have to go out there, respect the opponent, and win. And now we'll see if they can execute that.
Yeah, as the head coach, you set the standard for the rest of the team. So it's very important that he separates the emotion and the respect that he had for them from last season and realize the objective tonight is to go out there and win the game. And maybe be ruthless and cutthroat in the final third and take chances. At the end of the day, he has a job and he has a new employer and a new group of players, and the objective remains the same this season as last season, that every game you're going out there to win and perform to your best. He's just working for a different organization this year.
Sergio Rivas, meanwhile, trying to win the ball back. In the end, he's going to commit a foul here. It's a Las Vegas free kick. But we also spoke with Dennis Sanchez. The league also spoke and had an interview, sit down, Nicholas Murray, with Dennis Sanchez in the build-up to this game. And one of the things that Dennis Sanchez talked about was that, listen, there's going to be times where we face adversity this season, but he feels this team will not make it a 4 or 5 game slide. He said, we're going to turn it around. He said, we're going to turn it around this weekend as well and find a way to win. That was his quote to the USL Championships, Nicholas Murray on the league website. Great article, by the way, about his decision to leave Las Vegas and join the New Mexico organization. He said the biggest thing that went into making the decision was the feeling around the club. When he talked to different people, he already knew a few people within the organization, but the feeling that he had during interview processes and talking with different people around the organization, that's what drove him to making the decision. He said it was a tough decision, but he felt it was the right decision for him, his family, and the career he wants to lead moving forward.
Las Vegas like showing a lot of respect to New Mexico, defending in the low block. You can see they've got everybody back in the defensive third when they don't have possession of the ball, and just allowing the centre-backs for New Mexico to have possession of the ball without pressing them.
Zone, lovely little dink over the top. This is Joe Zhao looking to move the lights forward, and Valentin Noel's going to get onto that ball. Noel has Nigro. Noel's going to shoot, and Tambakis makes a wonderful save for New Mexico. It's out for a Las Vegas corner.
And tactically, so far, things are going well for Antonio Nocerino. Defending in the low block, getting everybody behind the ball, and then when they win possession, you can see they throw bodies forward, attacking at space. This is a good strike from outside the box and a great save in the end from Tambakis to keep the score 0-0.
Richard Harris Law Firm corner here for Las Vegas after a lovely move in the attacking third from Valentin Noel. Pinzon, who was the hero last week, will take the corner. Pinzon's ball in is headed down. Noel to his left. Johnny Rodriguez plays it into the middle of the penalty area, diving header away. I think that was by Herbert. It's cleared out on this near side. Crucial defending there from New Mexico.
Yeah, it's a good start to the game from both teams. Tactically, you can see Las Vegas are very organized and disciplined, and then very electric and forward thinking on the counter-attack. When we spoke to Nocerino, he said he's a different coach this year compared to the coach that he was last year. He has more professionals who have experience in the league this year than what he had last year, and I feel that that's given him a foundation to be able to be a little bit more advanced and a little bit more forward thinking than he was with Miami FC last year, of course.
Here's Will Seymour for United. Maples gets it back from Chris Gloucester. We talked about the playoff meeting between these two. There was also a famous win for Las Vegas at New Mexico in the regular season as well. Christian Pinzon scored in that game as Greg Hurst Gets the first shot away for New Mexico. Amateur makes a comfortable stop.
Hurst does well here to organize his feet. Gets it onto his favorite left. Doesn't quite connect with it as sweet as he would have liked, but first shot on target for the game, 10 minutes in.
Zhao out wide, gets it back. Joe Zhao picks his head up and tried to cross it into the middle looking for Rodriguez. Back and forth we go. Vegas gonna throw it on the far side.
Brilliant block there from Maples. That was a dangerous delivery coming into the box. Las Vegas had players in the box, but Maples timed his tackle to perfection, sending the ball out for a throw-in.
Pinzon. And Zhao laid it off. It's going to be a full reset for Vegas. Then they try to play their way through down this far side, and then it's going to be Jack Singer who finds Valentin Noel.
It's been a fairly fast start to this game for both teams.
Lovely skill there from Edison Azcona. Holds up the play really well. Noel helps him out. Azcona again with some trickery, and it's a free kick.
Some good footwork, but most guilty of doing a little bit too much. There's some opportunities there where he's beat the player and he can release it to another player forward in time and space, but you start to see a little bit of the ability that Azcona has when he's in possession of the ball.
Noel tried to pick out Pinzon. Zico Bailey has it back for New Mexico. Could be a chance here for Mackenzie Gaines to bring this forward up the other end. He cuts in field. Has it taken off him? Good defensive work there. And now New Mexico have to get back. Las Vegas have a chance to break here on the far side. Ends up being a challenge that the referee says is fair in the end, or fair enough. New Mexico back on it. Back at the all-time series between these two teams. It's their 10th meeting in the league, and it's tied across the board. 3 wins each, 3 losses each, 3 draws in there as well. So in some ways, this is kind of the rubber game between these two. At least who's going to be leading the series moving forward before the return fixture in New Mexico later on this season.
It's interesting to see the approach from Las Vegas. As you can see, center backs on the halfway line, they're not interested in pressing them whatsoever. They're allowing them to have time and space in the ball. Generally, the center backs don't have the capabilities to hurt you when they're in possession. Is if you break those lines and you allow them to find the attacking midfielders, this is when you can get punished. So good defensive discipline from Las Vegas right now. Just keeping their shape and staying disciplined and trying to frustrate New Mexico.
Gaines, lovely little give and go with Gloucester. Gloucester's ball across is headed away by Nigro. New Mexico try to keep it at this end, but the ball is too far in front of Makwele Akale.
Yeah, you did get a glimpse of how that defensive shape can be broken down, though. A long diagonal pass and some good 1-2 play to get him behind. Just needed a little bit more quality in the final delivery.
Antonio Nocerino brings enough passion and intensity all by himself in that Las Vegas technical area. Was there a foul there? Yes. Herbert through the back of Rodriguez. Free kick for Vegas.
I like what Nocerino has brought to the league. He brings personality, he brings character, he brings intensity, he brings passion. It's not for everybody. Not everybody has the attributes, but he's bringing the same characteristics and demeanor that he had as a player that we all loved and adored. And I think being able to bring that experience, being able to bring that intensity to this league, to his team, I think is valuable. I think it's good that we don't have all coaches at the same end. He brings something different.
He was talking to us about how soccer or football for him, it's life. It's not just about, here and there and the intensity drops every once in a while. It's every day, bringing everything you have. That's how he was brought up as a person and as a player, and his personality is already all over this Las Vegas side.
Yeah, I think what you'll see over time is that he's going to be able to take some players to a new dimension because of what he's going to be able to bring out from them in terms of an everyday work ethic approach to the sport, to their occupation, to their job. I think he's going to be able to enhance some of the intensity in the league, but I think his all-round demeanor and the aura and the energy that he's able to transmit is remarkable. And I think when you're on the call with him, you're listening to him speak, you already feel his passion and his intensity and his focus and his knowledge of the sport, and the way that he's able to transfer and bring that to his team. I think you're going to see that over the course of the season.
And his team's moving it forward here. Joe Zhao. Be a chance here for Christopher Pearson, one of the new signings for Las Vegas during the offseason. In the end, New Mexico forced them to go all the way back to the halfway line.
And I think it was also interesting to hear him talk about the league and how difficult the league is. You know, he gave the league and the teams a tremendous amount of respect. And sometimes people underestimate the difficulty or the level of the league.
Rodriguez out to the far side. It's poked forward, looking for Pinzon off the boot of Joe Zhao. Gloucester emerges with the possession. Nice turn by Gaines into space. And Mackenzie Gaines can keep on going here for New Mexico. No one stopped him yet. And Gaines is into the penalty area here and wins a corner, it looks like, for New Mexico after a brilliant run.
Well-timed tackle there from Singer. Gaines just picking up speed with the ball when there's players running next to him without the ball, and he's able to drive quicker with the ball than players running without the ball. And it took a well-timed tackle there from Singer inside the box. Anything badly timed would have been a penalty kick. Corner from New Mexico here.
Taken by Marlon Vargas. Used to be a big part of the Seattle Sounders organization with Tacoma Defiance. MLS Next Pro. He's now made his way here after a stint with the Colorado Rapids organization as well.
Referee seeing some pushing and shoving inside the box here, telling both players to cut it out.
The Richard Harris Law Firm corner will be taken again. Vargas is normally very dangerous from set pieces. Another decent ball in there. Singer's header away. Noel's header wasn't definitively cleared. Hurst tries to fit the ball through, and in the end, Sergio Rivas was shepherded away.
Good defending there from Rivas. Just uses his body to shield the ball and allow it to run out for a goal kick.
Oh, we told you there'd be good support from the Las Vegas Lights supporters. They're the ones making the noise right now. And then we told you as well about the New Mexico supporters who have made the trek. We did a little bit of research earlier. It's about an 8-hour drive, a little more than that, to get from Albuquerque to Las Vegas. Maybe a flight or two mixed in. We'll have to maybe wait and see on that. Either way, they're here and they're ready to cheer on their team. But their team has some defending to do here. Edison Azcona dispossessed, lost his footing. Akale is absolutely leveled by Valentin Noel, who made no attempt at playing the ball.
I think he'll do well if he keeps himself out of the book here, but there's a shoulder barge into the chest. And he knows he has no intention of playing the ball.
His former coach, Dennis Sanchez, also asking the questions of the referee. It appears there was no card given out.
Done well to escape a booking there.
I think some watching would say that that's the dictionary definition of a yellow card, not to be in the end.
Definitely the two center backs for New Mexico have been the players who've had the most touches on the ball so far in this game.
The latest touch from Herbert is out wide, but he's going to bounce out of play.
We've seen, once Las Vegas get their shape, that diagonal ball from the right-sided center back going to the left wing has been the most consistent pattern that they've displayed.
Near giveaway at the back with Akale lurking, and then Valentin Noel has to escape his advances as well. Noel spreads the play beautifully to find Joe Zhao. Ooh, tried to slip in Rodriguez, but Rodriguez checked his run. And Maples, who actually made a little bit of a meal out of that, sees New Mexico escape. Well, the Las Vegas Lights are proud to be working with the Southern Nevada Water Authority. Remember to change your watering clocks for spring. Water plants and trees up to 2 days a week. Sean St. Jacques, Chris Nurse, our entire crew. 0-0 so far. Dennis Sanchez making his return to Las Vegas. Is now the coach of New Mexico United. His second game in charge. It's the second game in charge as well for Antonio Nocerino. And again, Dennis Sanchez, who had such a wonderful year here last season, completed one of the best turnarounds year to year in USL Championship history. Las Vegas got 31 more points in 2024 than they did in 2023. All down to Dennis Sanchez and his staff, and then of course they made it to the Western Conference Final, as things are already getting a little bit testy here. It was Seymour with the challenge on Escona that sparked it.
I think the referee does have to start to use his cards to keep control of the game here. There's been a couple of instances where things are getting out of control because he's not being firm enough in some of his decisions.
Both Antonio Nocerino and Dennis Sanchez both paid their respects to one another in our talks with both of them this week. But of course, there's going to be intensity, there's going to be fire between these two teams, and a point to prove, I should say. Pinzon. Ends up being lovely skill here. It's Pearson trying to move his way forward. He'll settle for a throw-in for Vegas on the far side.
Zico Bailey is doing a good job for New Mexico in possession of the ball, but out of possession, there's huge spaces next to him that Pinzon and Ascona are occupying. Defensively, he's going to need a little bit of help, or those two are going to continue to pick up the ball in dangerous positions and make things happen for Las Vegas.
Pinzon from Pearson, and the referee brings it back for a foul that happened earlier. It's a free kick. Well, set pieces were a place where Las Vegas did have some good opportunities against Tampa Bay last week. They get a chance here from the far side. Two men over it for Las Vegas. Again, Elton Garcia making sure everything's tame inside the penalty area. The ball in by Nigro. He's flicked over the top and out by Marlon Vargas, of all people. It's going to be a corner on the far side, brought to you by Richard Harris Law Firm.
Dangerous delivery there. Came off defender's head, could have gone anywhere. Fortunate for New Mexico, over the crossbar and out for a corner kick.
Nigro will try a second time. And Nigro's ball in is a bending one. There was some holding, some pushing and shoving in there. Both teams were not thrilled about it. It's going to go out for another corner.
Some unorthodox defending there off the back of the defender for another corner kick for Las Vegas.
Taken quickly. And then bent into the middle, it's flicked on. Flag goes up as Tim Bacchus thwarts Pearson, but it ends up being a moot point. Well, Tim Bacchus wasn't to know. It was a great save, but the flag had already gone up.
Even without the linesman's flag, Pearson, a little bit of a tame effort. Tim Bacchus was able to save it. He should have really smashed that one into the back of the net. But Las Vegas looking fairly good in these opening 25 minutes of this game. Defending well, been decent in possession, created a few chances.
And besides the effort from Greg Hurst earlier, New Mexico have not really got going yet in the attacking third. And Vegas have had a fair share of chances.
I think the difference is we watch most teams and everybody wants to press from the front. Las Vegas are being very disciplined and organized in their approach. Everybody is dropping and collectively pressing at the same time. You can see the front three are very, very active in how they're defending right now. There's no passengers defensively, whether it's the number 9, whether it's the 7-11, Escona, Rodriguez, Pinzon. These three are the ones initially doing most of the defending right now, with the defenders for New Mexico having the majority of possession of the ball. These three are initiating the press for Las Vegas.
More applauding from Antonio Nocerino. Really liked the effort from his team to win that ball back. Although New Mexico thought it was their throw initially. Ends up being Vegas in possession. Dangerous pass back to Amateur. Noel has to be careful here. He swarmed as well, and he was fortunate. It was deflected into the path of Escona. It's actually right around the same part of the grass that Tampa Bay had their mishap last week. Both teams still with just the one shot on target. Noel at one end for Vegas, Hurst at the other end for New Mexico. But since the Hurst effort, Vegas have looked far the more likely to score.
And similar to last week, if you look at the statistics of the game for Las Vegas last week, they're not the team that necessarily is going to have the possession of the ball. As we spoke about, the possession of the ball for New Mexico.
Gains the ball in there. Nigro clears in front of Akale. And it was hit into the chin of Maples. Here's Sergio Rivas, and he's picked off. Pearson steps in to win it back for Las Vegas, and then could not pick anybody out.
As we spoke about, possession for New Mexico has predominantly been at the halfway line with the two centre-backs, which is possession, but it's not necessarily been threatening. Las Vegas have been comfortable allowing the two centre-backs to have the ball, keeping their shape, staying organised, and when they do it, being dangerous on the counter-attack. Whilst it may look like the game is one-sided a little bit, that's not really a true reflection of what's going on right now. Las Vegas are defending it well, allowing New Mexico to have meaningless possession because they're not getting hurt by the two centre-backs possessing the ball, and then being effective when they do win the ball.
Rivas tried to thread the needle to Vargas, who didn't get anything on it. And then Rodriguez is doubled up and dispossessed. And a loose pass there, picked off by Edison Escona. And he tries to play in Rodriguez. Was he taken out as the ball was played up ahead? No dice, says the referee. Herbert got in his way, but there wasn't enough contact.
I will say that there are some similarities to how we saw Miami FC play last season under Nocerino, where they were in the game and they did play some risky patterns out of the back with the goalkeeper and ended up conceding needless goals just through mistakes in that area. Similar to what I see in the opening 30 minutes for Las Vegas, where they're playing well right now. However, there's some moments with the goalkeeper playing out from the back, risky, where New Mexico could easily capitalize and take the lead off a bad mistake, irrespective of how well Las Vegas have performed in this opening 30 minutes.
Yeah, last week Las Vegas were missing a lot of players. Some of them have gotten back at least into the squad tonight. Sean Smart and Malik Howell, some of the notables. A few players still dealing with some visa issues. Not able to get back into the fold, most notably Younes Boudadi. They're hoping to get back as soon as possible. And despite all of those missing players, they defended really well against a good Rowdy side last week and obviously came out with the victory.
Yeah, I think there's always going to be one consistency.
Here's Joe Zhao, meanwhile. And it's a header for Nigro. Caught by Tambakis. I think Herbert was able to help out there defensively and make sure it wasn't clean on the contact.
Good opportunity again here from Las Vegas. They're knocking at the door consistently. But yeah, the point I was elaborating on, when you're playing for a coach like Nocerino, who's going to demand that in every training session, every minute, every moment, you're giving 150%, you need to have a big, deep squad, because over the course of the season, you are going to lose a few players, you're going to break a few players to make a few players when you train in that style, with that mentality, with that methodology, with that intensity. And I think it's necessary that you take players to the limits of their threshold in training so that they can then replicate those actions in games. But I think it's going to be a byproduct. You're going to lose some players throughout the course of the season through injury. You have to have a deep squad, but you can guarantee the ones who are out there on match day are going to be giving you 200%.
Lights fans, scan the QR code on your screen for more on the official protein drink of your Las Vegas Lights. DrinkPromino.com.
I think there's always a famous quote that you hear: if you want to have a healthy squad, you don't train much, you don't train with much intensity, everybody's always going to be available. But if you want a squad that's going to press aggressively, be aggressive, be intense, play with passion, you're probably going to break a few along the way. And being healthy, being available is also part of a skill of the game. If you cannot play at that intensity, you're always injured, then you're lacking some of the resilience required to compete in a team that's going to play like that.
It was a hopeful shot played through there for New Mexico, but it did take a ricochet off the Bailey effort. It's going to be a corner on the near side. Richard Harris Law Firm's set piece here. Makwele Akale will take it. Akale's ball into the back stick. Amateur is there for an easy catch.
Really interesting to watch this 4-3-3 from New Mexico. It looks like Bailey, Rivas, Vargas stay very tight and compact, and the front three of Gaines, Hurst and Akale, they almost open up wide as they get in possession of the ball. So Akale and Gaines start to open up to the touchline, leaving the half spaces inside for Vargas and Rivas to occupy. So they go from being very tight and compact to being very wide and expansive.
Nigro did well just to keep that ball in play for Noel. Pinzon back for Noel, and somehow Vegas play out of tight quarters there. Pearson
Great play.
now.
Great play there from Las Vegas.
Ascona.
Some good one-touch passing, switching the point of attack.
It continues on the edge of the penalty area here. Nigro gets involved. Noel spots a teammate free in the penalty area, but the flag is up. Joe Zhao's moment taken from him. He was able to nudge it past Tambakis, but the goal will not count.
I think Antonio Nocerino will be enthused with what he's seen from his team. He's seen resilience, he's seen compact defending, but then when they got possession of the ball, we saw some great one-touch passing, switching the point of attack, some patience. It was offside, but it was a good ball behind and a good header that actually ended up with the ball in the back of the net. But of course the linesman's flag was up. But you're seeing some brilliant intent here from Las Vegas, both with and without the ball. You can see Nocerino's pacing the sidelines with his defense, barking at them. Enjoying what we're seeing right now from Las Vegas Lights.
Great effort there by Rodriguez, trying to win the ball back. Not able to do so in the end, but it's more good effort. Antonio Nocerino, again, talked to us about how it's not about the mistakes and things like that. He's fine with that. It's about the effort. He just wants to see non-stop effort from his team, and he even said that when he recruits players, that's what he looks for. Who wants to win? Who wants to provide the energy constantly? Who's not going to give up when the going gets tough? And he feels like his players are already taking that message in a positive way.
Yeah, I think when you have a talented player and they're able to have that mindset, the sky is the ceiling. I think we all know talented players that don't have that mindset, and they can be so frustrating because maybe they give you a good game 1 every 9. They can win you the game, but on a consistent basis, they're very frustrating, and they can also impact the mentality and the focus of the team. I think when you have talented players who have that mentality, they can be the leaders because everybody else will look up to them for their talent, but they'll also follow them for their work rate and their leadership skills.
Bailey had his pass picked off. Good step defensively by Jack Singer. And Singer tries to follow up, and then the ball is threaded through up ahead. Pinzon is waiting for more players to join in, and now he's forced to slightly retreat here for the Lights.
I think it was really interesting, the story that Nocerino shared with us about when he was at AC Milan and Kobe Bryant came to visit them. And you know, they're all professionals in their different sports. Kobe Bryant arrives at 5 o'clock in the morning. The greatest player of basketball, maybe people argue, of all time, and at 5 o'clock in the morning, he's out there training for his profession. He was like, hey, if this is the mentality of this guy, who are we not to replicate the same actions? And I think little things like this that he's going to be able to pass on to the next generation, or these players coming up aspiring to be top talents and to be the best in their profession, I think his experience and the things that he can teach is going to be invaluable to the group.
Good step by Azcona. Valentin Noel, it's excellent footwork with the ball, and he looks to bring it forward for Johnny Rodriguez to run onto it. More blue shirts joining in.
You've got to get more players in the box in this situation. We can see Rodriguez out wide, but there's nobody in the box for him to feed, so they're having to play backwards now and recycle the ball. When they're counter-attacking, you've got players running behind. There's got to be more players trying to make it inside the box.
Some pressure there on Gartig. He was able to play it out. Clipped ahead by Jones. And then it looks like advantage might be played here for Rodriguez. Johnny Rodriguez, was he brought down by Herbert? Referee goes to the pocket here. It's just going to be a yellow for Anthony Herbert and a free kick for Las Vegas. One or two chirps for a different color card there.
I'm guessing that even though this is Las Vegas, this referee doesn't like the casino because he doesn't like his cards at all. I'm pretty certain that has to be a red card. Rodriguez does well here. This could have been a foul here. Referee lets it go. He's 1-on-1. He gets him behind. He's going through on goal. He gets pulled down here by Herbert. For me, that's a red card. If it's a foul, it's a red card.
And to your point as well, Chris Gloucester was the closest one. He was never going to impact the play.
He's through on goal. The minimum, he's getting a shot off on target. I think Las Vegas can feel hard done by here.
And New Mexico let off the hook.
That's a get-out-jail-free card. If you're playing Monopoly, they're getting let off the hook there. But you have to be enthused with the energy, the intensity, the focus that Las Vegas have had. 8 minutes from hard time. I think they're happy with the performance. I think they have to take it up a level to take the lead, to get themselves on the score sheet, to possibly get what they deserve in this first half. But I think there's a lot of positives to build on.
Well, Christopher Pearson will take this. Jamaican international, came over from the Columbus Crew organization. And Pearson went through the wall, but wide of the target.
Interesting to see Pearson taking that. You got pins on Rodriguez, Azcona. There's something that they know that we don't. He must be pretty spectacular at set pieces to be up there taking the ball off of those three.
I would have thought Valentin Noel would have also had a shout at that.
There's a few players that you might have envisioned being the front runners, but if they were happy to make way for Pearson, then
meanwhile, Elton Garcia has given a yellow card, we're told, to one of the assistant coaches on Antonio Nocerino's coaching staff here.
Well, I envision that he's probably asking why that's not a red card. I envision they're probably asking for a genuine response.
You could be right.
Of why that's not a red card.
Well, in the end, they get a yellow for dissent.
We've seen red cards given for far less than that.
That's a great point.
You're away from home, creating goal scoring opportunities, and the frustration is justified, I think.
Ball's going to slip all the way through. Had to be dealt with by Jack Singer, who clears it out for a throw. A lot of results have already gone final elsewhere. Big win for Detroit City earlier at Colorado Springs, the defending champions. They won 2-1. Indy wins over Miami. Loudoun beats North Carolina. Charleston and Tulsa winners as well, along with San Antonio. But one game, Chris, that we were following earlier, I wanted to give you an update on. El Paso were 3-1 up on Phoenix. The game finished 4-4 in the end, and there were 2 red cards at the end, both to El Paso. What a wild finish to that game.
Sounds like Phoenix returning to the days of old. We know that they used to be very, very ambitious in front of goal. Many games, 4-3 victories, late comebacks. Pamadou Cars onto something special down there. They were 3-1 down. I think at 4-4 they can take more positives than negatives out of that game.
Took the words right out of my mouth. It was a difficult loss for Pamadou Khan, his debut last week. Big time response from Phoenix to grab a point in Texas. We've already seen a little bit of fireworks here in the first 40 minutes and change. Herbert out to the far side. Maples.
I think Las Vegas are dropping a little bit too deep here. I think they were good when they're allowing the centre backs to have the ball at the halfway line, but now they're allowing them 10, 20, 30 yards inside the half. It's making things a little bit more difficult defensively.
Still time for someone to take some momentum into the halftime locker room.
Very difficult to find passes in between these lines. They're having to go wide, which isn't a bad option.
Dashing run into the penalty area here. Feint appeals from New Mexico for a penalty. It's a goal kick.
It's smart from Las Vegas because we've seen Gaines, the speed that he's able to pick up if you give him time and space to drive with the ball. By dropping deep, they're negating any space in behind, so you can't play behind them. There's not much space for them to pick up the ball, so recognizing that there's not much space to play between the lines or for their wide players to pick up speed and drive forward, it's making it very difficult for New Mexico to attack how they want to.
It's going to go out of play as Vegas tried to clear it towards Rodriguez. There have been some positives going down that far side, whether it's been Gloucester or Gaines for New Mexico, and they've created a couple of chances.
Yeah, you can see the threat that both of them possess when they have time and space to drive forward with the ball. So it's smart from Las Vegas to minimize those areas, to control the spaces, keep everything tight and compact, deep, and as you can see, there's a lot of New Mexico passing the ball sideways and backwards without being able to penetrate those spaces too often.
Oh, a miscued pass by Herbert, and he gives it right back to the hosts.
You can sense the energy inside the stadium. There's a fan base waiting to erupt to erupt should the home team get the go-ahead goal.
2 minutes in normal time left. We are told there's going to be a little bit of stoppage time tacked on at the end. Vegas have certainly had the majority of the chances so far, but there's still time for New Mexico to create something. They win it high up the field here. And Sergio Rivas' ball is going to fall kindly here. Zico Bailey. Marlon Vargas. Vargas' cross is blocked. It's going to be a United throw.
Pearson, good interception there. Defensively solid from Las Vegas Lights in this first half.
Oh, lovely ball there. Vargas for Gaines. It's Noel and company who get it clear after a good interception. Herbert. Seymour. Rivas. Rivas forced to go all the way back. Maples. Gloucester down the line for Gaines. And Gaines comes out with it. Mackenzie Gaines to the byline here. He could have a chance to shoot. Blocked away. Critical defensive effort there. I think it was Gartig who ends up getting a huge block for the Lights.
There's match-winning goals, but there's also match-winning tackles, and I think Gartig there puts himself up for Defender of the Week with the timing of that interception just before half-time, which would have been a devastating time should Las Vegas conceded at that moment.
And nearly a miscue there from Herbert. Gets back on it after miscuing his initial touch. Rodriguez was ready to pounce. Still time for New Mexico here. Gloucester. Hurst wasn't looking, and as he gives it away, we jump into one added minute at the end of the half. but it could fall kindly here for Marlon Vargas. Vargas keeps the ball in play. And on the edge of the penalty area, Sergio Rivas. Will Seymour, blocked by Gartig a second time. Rodriguez and Herbert tangle. Herbert comes out with it. Akale couldn't take the ball with him. Good defensive effort by Nate Jones, who clears. And now Rodriguez looks to break up the other end. Maples gets in front of him. And in the final seconds of the half, it's a Vegas throw.
This is 0-0, but it's not your average 0-0. This has been an entertaining affair from end to end from both teams. Las Vegas on the counter-attack. New Mexico, some good one-touch passing, some good combination play, but some excellent defending from Las Vegas at the same time. This has been one of the more exciting 0-0s we've had so far in the opening 2 weeks of the season.
Elton Garcia takes a look at the watch, and this very exciting first half will come to an end here in Las Vegas. 0-0 is the scoreline, but it doesn't even begin to tell the story. That was an exhilarating first half with both teams having a point to prove here in week 2. Very well poised for the second half, Chris.
Yeah, I think sometimes 0-0 games you can be struggling to keep your eyes open, but that's not been the case in the first half for both these teams, New Mexico and Las Vegas Lights. Some great tackles, some great passing, some great opportunities for a goal. We could have seen red cards, yellow cards, maybe even blue cards, who knows, but looking forward to the second half.
Really exciting first half here. Rodriguez with some chances for Las Vegas amongst others, and certainly New Mexico had their fair share of opportunities as well. It's been a good one, and we have halftime from Vegas coming up.
Desert Radiology is the area's chief resource for the highest quality medical imaging and diagnostic care. We are proud to offer 9 locations across the valley. As a member of the community for over 50 years, Desert Radiology is proud to be the official imaging partner of the Las Vegas Lights. To learn more, visit desertrad.com. That's desertrad.com. Let's go Lights!
At comprehensive cancer centers, the most advanced treatments and breakthrough research are helping our patients thrive. But some of our most powerful treatments are preventative. This begins together in our community through awareness, outreach, education, and support. From healthier living and self-checks to screening for early detection, we can now find and treat some cancers before they strike. We're doing this together, Southern Nevada, and teamwork saves lives.
As a Great Clips salon stylist, I love giving customers the look they want. With Clip Notes, we save your haircut details, so it's one less thing for you to worry about. And when I see that confidence at the end of the cut, that's everything to me.
As a stylist, I know it can be hard to find time for a haircut. With the Great Clips app, you can put your name on the list from anywhere and head to the salon when it's time for your cut. A great haircut plus more time for what you love. That's Great Clips.
Halftime here in Las Vegas, as the halftime score brought to you by the Southern Nevada Water Authority shows 0-0 in this grudge match between the Lights and New Mexico. Can't wait to see how the second half plays out, but before that, some of the best from week 1 in the USL Championship.
Be the first to score on your 10-year anniversary.
Can they find another? Yes, opportunity here. Second chance off the crossbar.
Ben Alcazar went for goal and scored. Oh, wow. What a debut. And what a goal for Orange County.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Tiptoed the line. Wilson! Brilliant! He has been on fire at Tampa Bay! Cross forward, brought down by Gagi! The hero! Let's go!
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Success doesn't come easy. It takes grit, hustle, and relentless effort. Every step forward brings you closer to greatness. This is your moment. Elevate your game. El Jimador Spiked Bebidas.
At comprehensive cancer centers, the most advanced treatments and breakthrough research are helping our patients thrive, but some of our most powerful treatments are preventative. This begins together in our community through awareness, outreach, education, and support. From healthier living and self-checks to screening for early detection, we can now find and treat some cancers before they strike. We're doing this together, Southern Nevada, and teamwork saves lives.
Sean St. Jacques, Chris Nurse back here with you. 0-0, the score at the half between Las Vegas and New Mexico. Lots of action. We're excited to see how the second half plays out. We'll get to that in just a few moments. First and foremost, news and notes around the USL Championship. Of course, the Open Cup's coming back later on this week. Lots of big first-round games, and there'll be 8 USL champions.
Desert Radiology is the area's chief resource for the highest quality medical imaging and diagnostic care. We are proud to offer 9 locations across the valley. As a member of the community for over 50 years, Desert Radiology is proud to be the official imaging partner of the Las Vegas Lights. To learn more, visit desertrad.com. That's desertrad.com. Let's go Lights!
At comprehensive cancer centers, the most advanced treatments and breakthrough research are helping our patients thrive, but some of our most powerful treatments are preventative. This begins together in our community through awareness, outreach, education, and support. From healthier living and self-checks to screening for early detection, we can now find and treat some cancers before they strike. We're doing this together, Southern Nevada, and teamwork saves lives.
Today's match is brought to you by Desert Radiology and Comprehensive Cancer Centers. Sean and Chris back here with you. We dive into the first half highlights between Las Vegas and New Mexico, and we jump into the 9th minute. This was a good chance for the Lights. Valentin Noel taking aim. Alex Tambakis making a good save for United.
Las Vegas Lights looked very dangerous on the counter-attack in the first half, defending well, exploding when they received the ball and creating chances.
And similarly at the other end, Greg Hurst with an opportunity, amateur, comfortable stop.
Does well to organise his feet here, gets the ball onto his left foot, doesn't quite connect with it as well as he would have liked, but good intent early on in the first half.
So both teams trading blows there, and then we move ahead to this Pearson free kick.
Yeah, this free kick came from a dubious decision that possibly could have been a red card. We question Pearson taking the ball off some of the most flamboyant attacking players, but there's a reason. Doesn't quite connect with it as good as he would like, but I'm sure his teammates trusting him to take it kind of lets us know the quality he has from dead ball situations.
Among some of the big moments from the first half, and pretty even, right? Shots are even, shots on target are even. Possession, as we expected, slightly towards New Mexico United, but I think Vegas wanted it that way.
Yeah, it's more than slightly towards New Mexico, but as we said, most of that possession has been with the centre-backs on the halfway line where it hasn't been threatening or dangerous whatsoever. Las Vegas have sat back and allowed them to have it and only pressured them when they've advanced past the halfway line. So I think in this situation, the possession stats could be a little bit misleading if you're not watching the game. Las Vegas likes to perform very well and allowed New Mexico to have the possession. And New Mexico, as you can see, even amount of shots on target, even amounts of shots collectively. So I think it's a very level-pegged game right now.
You said it earlier, Chris, the stats and the scoreline a little bit misleading. This was a very active and alive game throughout the first 45 minutes. Some flashpoints in there as well. A little bit of controversy from a Vegas point of view on a potential red card that wasn't given as well. And as we said going in to the halftime break, it's well poised for the second half between these two teams who really want to get the other in this one.
Yeah, we could see New Mexico really want to be able to play between the lines of Las Vegas, and Las Vegas staying tight, disciplined and compact is kind of preventing that. They're preventing the space being open behind for the likes of Gloucester and Gaines to be able to make their runs in behind or to drive with the ball. So it's making New Mexico have to find new ways of attacking, finding new ways of attacking, and Las Vegas are very comfortable just keeping their shape and trying to hit them on the counter-attack being away from home. So both teams strategically and tactically feeding each other out, but definitely a strong approach from Las Vegas collectively in how they're defending, how they're pressing, how they're fighting, battling, and there's been some great defending from both teams.
Well, Valentin Noel's the one leading the team huddle here for Las Vegas, who we're told did make a change at the half. We're told that Edison Azcona has been withdrawn, and Von Koval is going to come on for Antonio Nocerino at the start of the second half. He's on the right-hand side of your screen, number 41 in the dark blue. So that's a change for the Lights in the second half, and we'll see how that impacts things. We're actually still waiting for some of the New Mexico players to get back out onto the pitch. Now they're joining us here. A little bit of a tardy appearance from New Mexico. You'd expect Dennis Sanchez, he knows these confines, to maybe get the guys back out there a little bit quicker, although then maybe that's on purpose.
Mind games. Azcona did take a knock early in that first half, and I wonder if the halftime substitution is a byproduct of that. Maybe he's feeling it and they're protecting him. He had some good moments in the first half, some nice ball control, some nice skills, but we did see him go down very early. Seemed to be limping a little bit after that. So
it does look like New Mexico is going to make a halftime change as well. Looked like it might have been Jalen Lindsay who was trotting on. We'll get confirmation on that. But it does look like that both teams did make a halftime adjustment here. Vegas trying to make it 2 wins on the bounce to start the Antonio Nocerino era. And Dennis Sanchez comes back to his old home, hoping to get the victory here tonight, trying to avoid back-to-back road defeats to start his tenure as the New Mexico coach. And again, that change was made. Jalen Lindsay is on, and we're told Herbert, who was on that yellow card, was withdrawn. And of course was the player that was involved in that possible red card challenge on Johnny Rodriguez in the first half that Elton Garcia did not give the red card on, just gave the yellow.
Looks like Lindsay's coming to the game as a right-sided centre-back, paying special attention to Rodriguez. Lindsay started his career with Sporting Kansas City as a right-back. A bright prospect, now plies his trade with New Mexico here in the USL Championship.
And you saw there Von Koval, the 21-year-old, in his second season with Las Vegas. Dennis Sanchez actually brought him over late last season. He played 8 games for the Lights. And for Von Koval, It's his debut appearance in 2025 as he replaces Azcona. Meanwhile, Rodriguez gets past a couple of nibbles as far as challenges are concerned, and Noel reshuffles the cards for the Lights.
Rodriguez does well there to keep his team in possession. Unfortunately, there's nobody making forward runs, so his only option was to play backwards.
That is something that Johnny Rodriguez had to put up with quite a lot against the Rowdies last time out. Didn't get a lot of chances to stretch his legs. There's a lot of infighting in and around the middle of the park. Here is Gloucester. Near side, a chance for Gaines, who was really good at times in the first half for New Mexico, provided quite the spark and quite a lot of pace as well for Dennis Sanchez's group.
Very interested to see with New Mexico. You can see Gloucester tucks inside and almost becomes a double six when they're in possession of the ball, leaving Gaines very high and wide.
Here is Gaines. Gloucester in support. First touches for Lindsay. Out to the far side, Will Seymour.
You can see how inverted Gloucester's position in right now. That means when Las Vegas do get possession, if they're able to get possession of the ball, there's tons of space out on this right-hand side that they can exploit.
Ball in was intended for Akale, who will go over and take the corner off the ricochet. The Richard Harris Law Firm corner. It's taken quickly here. Bailey back to Akale, who was in an offside position, and it quickly fizzles out. Well, Akale just took too long to react, or maybe didn't expect to get the ball back. Missed opportunity for New Mexico there. Headed down by Lindsay. Lights will get the throw. Jones. Pressured by Hurst. Now Vargas continues the pressure on Gartig, who picks out Pinzon, who has time and space to run into for the Lights, and tried to play the early ball up ahead for Koval. He finds Tambakis.
Great pass from the defense into the midfielder, breaking the press from New Mexico. Takes 3 or 4 players out of the game with that one pass. Just needed to be a little bit more patient with that final ball. Did have 3 players making runs forward, but New Mexico's defense was well positioned to intercept that.
Lindsay. Maples. Bailey for Vargas. And Vargas tried to fit it through the legs there, and then Pinzon, was he taken out by Gloucester? Yes, and Gloucester is booked.
Referee was convinced this one is a yellow card, made no hesitations in reaching for his card book on this occasion. Gloucester makes no connection with the ball, he has to.
Remember, New Mexico's already without Kalen Ryden, who was sent off last week at Sac Republic. Anthony Herbert was a bit lucky not to get sent off earlier, and now another rash challenge from Gloucester, who's on a yellow card. I think Pinzon is still being looked at here, and again, tempers fraying ever so slightly there. Joe Zhao trying to impede the New Mexico progress towards setting up this free kick. Gloucester goes over and presumably apologizes to Pinzon, although he doesn't seem too bothered by it. It is part of the game, of course, those kinds of challenges, And Gloucester was just a bit late.
It'll be interesting to see if Las Vegas recognize that Gloucester's now on a yellow card and start to attack this part of the field. One more poorly timed challenge and he'll be seeing an early shower with a second yellow card.
Here comes the New Mexico pressure. It's a takeaway. Sergio Rivas. And then it's going to be a tap-in. Mackenzie Gaines gives New Mexico the lead in Las Vegas. We said it might come back to haunt them, the lights playing out of the back. Well, case and point. United leads.
I don't want to repeat what I said maybe 20 minutes ago, Sean, but Miami FC, we saw many of this last season. Mistakes from the goalkeeper that cost them badly on games when they're performing well. Las Vegas have done so well. This is a situation where they really don't need to do what they've done in that situation. The pass from the goalkeeper isn't so bad. I'm not sure why Pearson tries to flick this ball with the outside of his right foot. It's not a great idea. He doesn't execute it well. He gets away with it. The rebound then comes back to Gaines and he finishes off the back of the net. They've given the game away. In a game where they perform well, they've now find themselves climbing a mountain. This is when you start to take away the confidence and you start to take away the momentum that they're building when they destroy it with this situation. We saw this many times last season with Miami FC from goalkeeping errors. When they were in the game, they had an opportunity, they were performing well. Errors like that cost the team big time.
Well, for Mackenzie Gaines, it's his first goal for New Mexico. It's his first goal in the USL Championship. And it's his first goal since 2023. When he scored for Charlotte FC in MLS.
There's a difference in making decision-making and playing out back from the back, but playing out from the back by any means necessary is nonsense. There's times when a team's pressing high with 5 players and the space is going to be behind, and you have to be able to recognize that. They played into the hands of New Mexico there. You can see New Mexico have come out in the second half, and they've been pressing very aggressively from the front, and they've got the rewards for it. Because Las Vegas did not recognize that the space was behind. It wasn't the right moment to try and play short. I'm not sure if there's ever a moment when blindly flicking the ball with the outside of your foot inside the box in that situation under pressure is ever acceptable, and they've been punished because of that.
It's been slightly against the run of play as well. The Lights have had the majority of the chances, but it's their mistake that leads to the United goal that has New Mexico all of a sudden in charge. And Dennis Sanchez's team scores in his big return, and Gaines could be at it again here looking for a Kale. Just touched past him. And Seymour resets. Here's Bailey. Zico Bailey gets it back from Sergio Rivas. Maples. Marlon Vargas has some space to work with here. Finds Greg Hurst. Gloucester.
New Mexico getting that first goal completely changes the momentum in the game, because now when the center backs have the ball, they're in control of the game. They're no longer chasing. So if Las Vegas want to sit off and allow the center backs to have the ball, it's fine, because they're just running down the clock now while they're in the lead. So I think that now it changes. Las Vegas are a goal behind. They can't afford to sit back. Now they have to go and press higher, which is going to open them up a little bit more. And I think that's when New Mexico, you're going to start to see the best of them. The first goal in this game was massive.
Well, Dennis Sanchez had an interview with the USL Championship and Nicholas Murray earlier this week, and in the build-up to this game. And he said that he doesn't expect this team, when they lose and drop points, to make it a long 4 or 5 game slide. He said he fully expected his team to turn it around this week and find a way to win. They just took a big step in the right direction there.
They didn't have to find a way, because Las Vegas gave it to them.
Fair enough, but they took advantage.
They did. I mean, it was harder to miss in that situation than to score. You kind of feel for Las Vegas, but they played into that. The good work that they did for 50 minutes of the game was undone in 1 moment. Now they've got to dig deep and find themselves back in the game, but you definitely feel the momentum shifting in face of New Mexico right now.
Gaines with the ball in. Sergio Rivas. Seymour's header. Touched high into the air by Vargas. New Mexico didn't communicate too well inside the penalty area there. It's cleared away. I think at the end of all that, the referee may have blown the whistle. And did. It comes all the way back for a free kick.
It was almost like, you know, when you've seen a movie before and you know how it ends. That's almost how that felt.
Well, the Las Vegas Lights are proud to be working with Desert Radiology as the official imaging partner for the 2025 season. Greg Hurst twisting and turning his way into the penalty area. He keeps the ball in play. Gaines. Gloucester for Bailey, who gives it back to Gloucester. Vargas. Bailey. Lindsay. And Maples.
You can feel the confidence from New Mexico since they've got that go-ahead goal. Just being patient, moving the ball in 1 and 2 touches.
It's Akale who gave the ball away and then was holding his face for a moment. He's back at it. Ball was nearly flicked through for Rodriguez. Now Bailey for New Mexico. Threads the needle. It was nearly a beautiful give and go. It still could fall here. Greg Hurst deflected. Saved by Amateur. Easily could have been 2-0.
They've been getting a lot of success when they're playing one touch and they're playing give and goes. New Mexico have been able to break through Las Vegas's defense.
Another giveaway. Poor touch from Von Koval. Sergio Rivas for Zico Bailey.
They're moving the ball a lot quicker in this second half than they were in the first half. New Mexico right now. They're stretching them side to side and then trying to find the pockets in between.
Since that goal has gone in, it's all changed in New Mexico's favor here. Seymour.
The center backs are holding onto the ball. They're trying to tease Rodriguez to press. And once he presses, that's when they're trying to play around him.
Gloucester dispossessed by Pinzon. Pinzon looking for Rodriguez, and Rodriguez is able to keep this ball in play. Lights desperately needed to get out of their own end, and then it's lovely skill by Pinzon, who is stopped in the end, but Vegas will keep it. Nocerino wants the ball back into play. Zico Bailey wasn't happy with the referee's decision on the throw-in there, and Elton Garcia didn't appreciate him hearing about it. Just a talking to there. Valentin Noel. Lovely dummy by Pinzon. This is Joe Zhao. Zhao's ball across. Tambakis! Oh, he almost let that go and regretted it, really. Rodriguez was very close to that. Tambakis thought it was just going to bounce out of play. It did not. And New Mexico are a bit fortunate.
It was a little bit of a shot cross. I'm not sure whether he was going for goal or if he was trying to find somebody at the back post, but either or, very uncertain moment there for the New Mexico defense.
Hey Lights fans, scan the QR code on your screen for more on the official protein drink of your Las Vegas Lights. Go to drinkpromino.com. Just under half an hour to play here in Las Vegas. The first New Mexico goal for Mackenzie Gaines has United in front. Gloucester for Hurst. It's headed high into the air, and Gartig helps it along. Maples. And New Mexico patient in their build-up, looking for the gaps.
Rodriguez has worked tirelessly so far in this game. In and out of possession. When they're in possession, he's making runs in behind. He's chasing down defenders. But this is where New Mexico are just playing smart. They're keeping possession and wearing out the legs of Las Vegas.
Gloucester tries to thread the needle. It nearly fell kindly for Vargas. There was a touch in there. And it looks like it is going to be a corner, brought to you by the Richard Harris Law Firm. So a chance for New Mexico to really stamp their authority here. They can double their lead. In by Vargas. Oh, nearly a free header. Will Seymour was left pretty much unmarked, but did not get enough contact, if any, on the cross.
Pressure building in favor of New Mexico here. Feels like a second goal is on the way. Las Vegas at this point have to do something a little bit different. I think at this point they do need to try and maintain possession of the ball for longer spells. I think the longer they allow Las Vegas to control the game, control the tempo of the game, control possession of the ball at this phase, is playing into their hands. Now they're down a goal. They have to find a new means of going about the game.
Here is Zhao. And Joe Zhao tries to run right at Bailey, who tries everything he can to hold him up, including fouling him. And again, he's not happy with Elton Garcia, but it's a Lights free kick.
Zhao was just trying to find Pinzon in behind there. He was driving forward with the ball, looking for Pinzon to make a diagonal run in behind, but it took a little too long and was able to draw the free kick from Bailey.
Puts Las Vegas in a pretty good spot here. Another look at it. Well, there's clearly knee-to-knee contact there.
Strong kick there from Bailey.
Can Vegas capitalize? Pinzon and Nigro standing over it. And before Pinzon could deliver to Rodriguez, there may have been a coming together in the penalty area here. Wonder if Elton Garcia will maybe allow for a retake. It's actually the goal scorer Gaines who got the worst of it.
Las Vegas had to be careful here. The last thing they want to do, they're still very much in this game, but the last thing they want to do is give away a silly penalty kick and allow New Mexico, either team, to give away a silly penalty kick and allow either team to get on the score sheet.
Great ball in by Nigro. Headed out for a corner. Gartig was making a really good run unmarked. And it's going to be a set-piece opportunity for the Lights, brought to you by Richard Harris Law Firm.
Dangerous in-swinging free kick there.
The Lights attacking the end where their supporters are at the moment. 25 minutes to go, plus stoppages. Can Las Vegas get back on terms here?
You can see it. A couple of players in the box, they're unmarked.
Very congested in the 6-yard box. It goes right towards goal, and Tambakis can only knock it down, and then Rodriguez was not able to wrap his boot around it. Cleared away.
The referee's whistle didn't go for a free kick, and the ball bounced there. He thought he was just going to hammer it into the back of the net. For some reason, he hesitates. New Mexico are able to clear it away to safety.
Nigro's throw to Rodriguez, who's double teamed and ends up giving the ball away to Akale, who then runs onto the layoff by Hurst and then gets past the challenge by Nigro. Out for a throw, and it goes.
Great first touch layoff there from Hurst. Just leaves it in the path of Akale there to run onto.
But he's dispossessed. Gaines is in behind his second time, and then the layoff is cut out by Noel with Hurst lurking. Nearly another big miscue at the back. and then Pinzon way too far in front for Rodriguez. Once again, the Lights playing with fire in their own end.
It's questionable whether the risk that they're taking at the back it is worth the reward. It's one thing having a style of play, but when the style of play is costing you points, costing you games, costing your confidence, costing your momentum, the players themselves on the pitch have to take that responsibility on themselves. The coach is going to give them an idea and a framework of how he wants them to play. But at the end of the day, when the ball is at your feet and you're on the pitch, you have to take responsibility for the decisions that you're making.
Here's Bailey. Hurst will do a full reset all the way back to Lindsay. Now Rivas, Akale. And this is New Mexico not just managing the game, but trying to prepare for another attack. Little give and gore. Rivas to Seymour. It was really well worked, and Marlon Vargas was available at the top of the penalty area. Couldn't quite slide it through, and then miscommunication. It's another mistake. It's another tap-in. Marlon Vargas never gave up on the play. Las Vegas, miscommunication at the back, and for his second game running to start the season, Greg Hurst scores in the USL Championship. 2 Vegas mistakes, 2 New Mexico goals, and New Mexico are 2-0 up here in Las Vegas.
You have to give Vargas credit here. Great feat, tries to feed Hurst. He doesn't give up on it. Again, I'm not sure what the defender is doing here. He's trying to shield the ball from the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper's not coming. Clear the ball, clear the threat from your danger. You don't. Vargas is tenacious. He doesn't give up on it. He gets in front, lays it off for his teammate. 2-0 New Mexico. Again, a defensive error has cost them massively. They've defended well as a unit, but individual decision-making and choices has cost them massively in this game tonight.
2 and 2 for Greg Hurst. And there's going to be 2 in, 2 out for New Mexico. Mackenzie Gaines and Sergio Rivas are the 2 players who are going to leave. Luis Fernando and Gideon Zelalem are both going to come in. Zalalem's actually a former Arsenal Academy product. He then bounced around between different MLS organizations, the Eredivisie, in the Dutch League as well. Here he comes to make his New Mexico debut.
I've liked a lot of what I've seen of Las Vegas. There's a lot that enthused me, that there's a lot of positive, but some of the defending, some of the choices in possession of the ball defensively is extremely naive and childish, I'd say. Some of the errors at a schoolboy level, if they want to be successful, they've got to do far better than that as individual defending. It's individual defensive mistakes. As I said, the collective, they've been fairly good. It's just individual choices.
We asked Antonio Nocerino about the game against Tampa Bay, and I remember the Rowdies made that big mistake, miscommunication at the back, and Christian Pinzon scored, and Antonio Nocerino told us we forced that mistake, we made that happen. Well, the mistakes have gone against them here tonight, and both of the big ones have been punished, and now the Lights are going to make 3 substitutions here. Three changes here. Sean Smart and Malik Howell make their season debuts. They were so critical to the Lights season last year. Rory O'Driscoll is in as well. Coming out are Nate Jones and Jack Singer, and then Vaughn Koval, who actually came on at the half, is going to make way.
As we spoke about, at 2-0, you can't now just allow New Mexico to have possession of the ball and drop off them and keep your shape. You've got to go chasing the ball now. You maybe need to be a little bit direct in how you approach the game. It's not going to be 100 passes to get to goal and create goal-scoring opportunities. You're going to have to be more direct. You're going to have to put New Mexico's defense under pressure. You're going to have to try and win the second balls. You're going to have to try to create as many goal-scoring opportunities before the end of the game.
It is a debut for O'Driscoll, playing with the new Minnesota United organization last season, as it's on a plate here for Rodriguez! Valentin Noel picks out Johnny Rodriguez, who scores his first goal for Las Vegas. It's an immediate response for the Lights. 2-1 here in Vegas.
We're set up for a very exciting closing 20 minutes to this game. It's a great through ball over the top here, and we spoke about Martinez's work rate so far this game. Runs in behind, pressuring defenders, closing down. He deserves this goal, but this is a great delivery in behind. Times it with perfection. That's not an easy finish. The ball is on the half volley. Does well to keep his head over it. Into the back of the net. Past him back is 2-1. Las Vegas Lights are still in this game, despite some horrific defending.
And then nearly at the other end, another chance for New Mexico goes begging. Back and forth we go. Greg Hurst nearly scored again. Johnny Rodriguez, who scored a dozen goals last season for Oakland and the year before that, gets his first for the Lights, but they nearly conceded right after that.
Noel just clipping a great ball over the defensive line there for Rodriguez's run. He's given Las Vegas something to cling on to now in this game. With the fresh legs coming in off the bench, it'll be interesting if they can go ahead now and push for the equalizer. Of course, so many substitutions at one time can sometimes have an impact on the chemistry and cohesion.
Here comes Rodriguez again. He was fouled. Free kick.
Important player for this team, Rodriguez. It's going to be very important that they're able to keep him healthy and available.
Elton Garcia gave a yellow card out there. Get confirmation on that in a second. Oh, it's going to be on Gideon Zalala in the end. He's played in the USL Championship before, Zalala. About 6 years ago, played for Sporting Kansas City 2 when they were still in the league. And again, he's bounced around quite a bit since then. Finds himself back in the league, signing during the offseason for New Mexico. And now Vegas, can they turn this on its head? Sean Smart and Valentin Noel discuss the set piece. When Antonio Nocerino is still upset about something, Elton Garcia tells him to settle down. Good luck with that, Elton, I must say. Antonio does not quite adhere to those kinds of creeds. He is all out, go, go, go. From the set piece, Noel. Joe Zhao. Zhao to the byline. Did he run out of room there? He was looking for a free kick as the challenge came in from Luis Fernando. And Fernando is puzzled as it looks like it's going to be a corner, not a free kick in the end.
And I think he should be puzzled because it's a free kick. Zhao runs it out of play, but he is fouled, so it really should be a free.
Garcia, that's what they want. It's a short corner, essentially. Nigro to take, and again, it's very congested around the goal mouth. Nigro's corner kick, or I should say a short corner, comes up short. Pinzon gets it back to Nigro, who miscontrols it, and it goes back to New Mexico as Nocerino again wants his team to get in position. Well, there's a reason we had an Antonio Nocerino cam just for his movements last week. He is up and down that touchline all throughout. Oh, Rodriguez gets on the end of it and skewers his shot wide of the target after a United miscue at the back. How quickly things could have changed.
It's a big moment there for Las Vegas to get the equalizing goal. Rodriguez again creating his own luck. He just doesn't give up. Just needs to strike through the middle of this ball across the goalkeeper. And he has a great opportunity of equalizing for Las Vegas. Just shanks the ball high and wide. A fan somewhere in Rosette's very happy right now.
All of a sudden, after New Mexico felt like they were in control, now they're the ones that have to refine their footing here down the stretch. 13 minutes left here. O'Driscoll gets it moving again for Gartig. Gartig's incisive pass. He's whistled for a free kick, and Gloucester's already been booked. Has to be more careful than that. It's taken quickly for Smart. Smart's ball across. Nobody there in blue to really attack it. Headed away, out for a throw, and that's what Sean Smart is certainly capable of.
That's a great delivery there from Smart. Whipped him behind the back line into an area where the goalkeeper come and get it. Just needed
to accrue. It never really did for Rodriguez. So this is going to be brought back for another set piece. All of a sudden, Vegas have snatched all the momentum back. Tambakis getting his wall ready. At least 4 are going to be in that. Nigro and Noel, 2 wonderful deliverers on set pieces. It's also well within range for either one to have a go at the target as well.
You have a lefty and a righty on the ball. Noel maybe wants to go over or around the wall.
Vegas were 2-0 down. Can they get the equalizer? It was towards Howell. The initial ball in. Joe Zhao will recover it. Zhao cuts in field. Another ball in is flicked on. Oh, it was Pinzon on the volley. Still up for grabs here. Rodriguez lets it go, and it's blocked by Maples. Only as far as Zhao. Zhao back in. Pinzon couldn't wrap his boot around it either. He still keeps it alive. Great ball across for Howell, and it's onto the roof of the net. Goal kick after Vegas had 2 or 3 shots at it.
The opportunity was there. Pinzon at the back post. He just needed to get his foot on it and guide it on target. Instead, he chooses to bring it down. Clipped up at the back post, headed over the crossbar. Las Vegas banging on the door. Just unable to test Tambakis right now, but all the pressure is on New Mexico's defense right now.
Starting to lose track on how many ebbs and flows we have had just in the second half. Dennis Sanchez's side clinging to a 2-1 lead. And there's still 10 minutes to go. That's the good news, at least from a neutral's point of view. A lot of time left. Gloucester told to get on with it here. Luis Fernando. It's brilliant hold-up play initially, but then Valentin Noel helps out and wins it back for Las Vegas, only to lose out to Fernando. Hurst's pressure on Howell. And then Howell is there to help out Nigro. Noel for Nigro. Nice job winning it back by Vargas. Nigro doesn't give up on it either. And then Vargas tries to round the corner. He's fouled by Nigro. Free kick, New Mexico.
Good play from Vargas here. He uses his body to protect the ball. Strong center of gravity. Wins a free kick for his team in a dangerous area.
Kwele Akale to deliver for United. Akale's ball in goes right towards goal. Amateur, no issues with it. Howell literally directing traffic here. Nigro. Outside of the boot, ball by Pearson is blocked. Vegas throw-in. Dennis Sanchez's return to Las Vegas has been eventful. I think we expected that. But is there going to be some late drama, some late Las Vegas magic here? Gartig switches the point of the attack, but it's a cushioned header out of play by Seymour. Here's Sean Smart. Rodriguez trying to help it on. Still Rodriguez. Ends up getting cleared away by Zelalem.
Las Vegas still banging on the door here. Smart's looked lively since he's come into the game.
Nearly won a corner off of Gloucester, who's able to get it clear. Amateur for Malik Howell. Maybe it was just the boost of getting Howell and Smart back onto the field that's allowed the Lights to recover this here and potentially even turn it on its head. That's going to fizzle out as Pinzon is not going to catch up.
Still a decent amount of time left to play in this game. I think there's at least 10 minutes left to play. And I think there's at least one goal for either team. The next goal is obviously going to dictate the fate of the game. Las Vegas banging on the door, but I think there's still also opportunity while they're banging on the door. They're wide open and New Mexico could capitalize on the counter-attack. It's difficult to decide which way this game's going to go right now.
Another game just went final elsewhere. Monterey Bay, despite going down a man, beating Oakland by 3-2. And it's 2-1 Lexington at Orange County. A chance to get a big result there on the road after Orange County were so good last week against Oakland. And again, still a chance for a few more late twists here in Vegas. New Mexico were 2-0 up. Goals from Gaines and Hurst earlier in the second half, but Johnny Rodriguez's first Lights goal has Las Vegas right back in it. Howell clipped and fouled by Luis Fernando. Luis Fernando, of course, as Greg Hurst, is going to get a yellow card here from the referee. And another one for something that Greg Hurst said. I was going to say Luis Fernando, 3 seasons with Memphis, who are now defunct, unfortunately, and then before that was with the Tampa Bay Rowdies, so plenty of USL Championship experience for him in his first season with New Mexico. Tambakis for Maples. Gloucester couldn't get it back from Fernando. O'Driscoll stepped in nicely. And then it's Zelalem heading it forward, looking for Hurst, but it's going to be cleared by Gartig.
Good intensity from both of these teams right now. Strong in 50-50 tackles, moving the ball quickly, switching the point of attack. Both teams still very much on the attack despite New Mexico controlling the game. They're not sitting back whatsoever at all.
Hurst has to be careful.
Very careful.
Just was booked. He's trying to hold back O'Driscoll. Gartig.
I think if O'Driscoll goes down there, that's an easy second yellow card for Hurst.
Vegas will switch the point of the attack. It's a gorgeous ball to Pinzon. Christian Pinzon tries to fit it through. Tambakis dives on top of it.
Pinzon does well to create the space to get the cross. but just doesn't connect with the ball with any kind of real quality. Tambakis will be happy to see that one dribble into his hands.
Pinzon was trying to pick out Johnny Rodriguez again inside of that New Mexico penalty area. Did Rodriguez maybe follow through as Maples tried to clear it? Looked like the whistle did go, it might be brought back. Oh, on second thought, actually the offside flag went up. Either way, it's New Mexico's free kick. Zelalem, oh, nearly lost it out of bounds. Just about found Maples, and then another coming together there. I think Fernando may have been fouled by Smart, and then ball may have been kicked away there. Well, both sets of players are up in arms here. One, I think, as the ball was kicked away, and Dennis Sanchez is wondering why his side didn't get the free kick. A little bit of confusion there after Elton Garcia made his decision. Here's Nigro as we're ticking down towards the 90th minute here. O'Driscoll. Smart gets past Zelalem. Pinzon back for Smart. Smart's ball across, looking for Rodriguez, headed away by Seymour. Collected by Joe Zhao.
Again, another dangerous ball there from Smart. Screaming for somebody to making a diagonal run at the back post.
Pearson keeps it alive for Smart again. Smart with the early ball, blocked by Gloucester. Smart will try again, lays it off for O'Driscoll. And O'Driscoll's ball in is going to find Joe Zhao. Zhao will shoot, and it's in! Joe Zhao has equalized for Las Vegas! And from 2-0 down, the lights are level! Can you believe that? A dose of some March Madness here in Vegas. Pandemonium at Cashman Field.
We said this next goal could have gone either way, and Las Vegas have been banging on the door. We thought this was an overhit cross. Zhao does well to get it done. I have to see this strike again. Just guides it into the far corner, gives Tambakis no chance. He's waving to the crowd and trying to save that. And Las Vegas have leveled up 2-2.
And there's still 4 minutes of stoppage time left. Incredible resolve shown by Antonio Nocerino's group here. 20 minutes left, they were 2-0 down, looked like they were going nowhere. It's 2-2 and there's still time left as Dennis Sanchez has taken out Akale and brings in Tomas Pondeca, who played for North Texas on a championship-winning side in MLS Next Pro last season.
We've had everything in this game. We've had moments of heartbreak. We've had moments of brilliance. We've had moments of horrific defending. This game's given us everything. There's been moments that we love and there's been moments that are frustrated. I think this game kind of encompasses everything.
Joe Zhao scored 1 goal last season for Las Vegas. That's his first goal of this season, his second for the Lights. And incredibly, Dennis Sanchez's 2-0 lead has evaporated at his former home.
And it couldn't have come at a better moment. I think his team needed it. We spoke about the performance they had. They gave away 2 really sloppy goals. Found themselves 2-0 down in a game where they really didn't deserve to be. And they found a way to pull it back.
Now can Vegas go on and win it? Pinzon. Smart joins in. Pinzon tries to find Rodriguez, who picks it up and misses it wide of the target. Oh, that was the moment.
For the second time, Rodriguez, in a similar position earlier, finds himself past the back line. Just go across the goalkeeper. Whatever you do, across the goalkeeper in this situation. He goes in the near post area again and shanks it wide. Two great opportunities from Rodriguez. He wished he would have had both of them back. Another great moment to get the go-ahead goal.
Still 2 minutes left. It's the USL Championship the way we like it. Drama galore, twists and turns throughout. Still have a chance for one of these two teams to find a late winner and have the last laugh here.
We've definitely seen glimpses of that never give up mentality that Noscherino has spoken about.
Lindsay. Can New Mexico win it again here? Seymour in behind, cleared by Howell. Not definitively cleared. New Mexico have a chance to win this back. O'Driscoll is able to just about get it away from Bailey, who drags him back. And Zico Bailey is going to see a yellow card for that.
If you went back to when Bailey kicked out earlier in the game, that possibly could be a second yellow card. He's lucky that the referee's been fairly lenient with the way he's distributed cards, but there's been a couple tackles for Bailey where that maybe should have been his marching orders.
Is there enough time for one more moment here? Gartig up ahead. Gloucester wins the header. Luis Fernando can bring New Mexico forward here. And Fernando gets on the end of this. No, smart, great recovery. Out for a throw-in. Final seconds here in what's been a heart stopper.
We spoke about the impact Smart's had since he's come on. He's been high and wide delivering crosses. Here we see him all the way back in his half defending as the last man. And this is all about mentality. This is what Antonio Noscherino was speaking to us about.
Another Richard Harris Law Firm corner, possibly the last moment of the night. Oh, and then there's a coming together inside the penalty area here. Not for the first time tonight. New Mexico, they threw away their 2-0 lead. Can they go back and win it again with what could be the last kick? Elton Garcia still doesn't see what he likes in the penalty area, trying to make sure it stays civil. The corner is bluffed initially. It's going to be curled in! It's all the way in! It's all the way in! Absolutely astonishing! New Mexico, who had thrown it away, have only gone and won it again in stoppage time! Vargas's ball deflects around and goes in. And Dennis Sanchez said it earlier this week. He expected his team to find a way. And it appears that with an Olympico, New Mexico have stolen the points back. You just can't make it up.
I thought we had everything in this game, Sean, but clearly not. The final moments of the game. In hindsight, you're looking, somebody should be in that near post area. I think it's a defensive lapse.
It's either a Vargas Olympico or maybe a Will Seymour tap-in. Either way, it appears New Mexico, after throwing it away, have stolen it back here in Las Vegas. What a return for Dennis Sanchez. And New Mexico smuggle all 3 points back to Albuquerque with one of the most dramatic matches we will see this season in the USL Championship. Melodrama upon melodrama.
This had to be one of the contenders for Game of the Week. As we spoke about, there was everything in this game, everything.
We'll step aside for a moment. An extraordinary ending here. New Mexico rips Vegas's hearts out, and they win it by 3-2. We will wrap it all up next.
As a Great Clips Salon stylist, I love giving customers the look they want. With Clip Notes, we save your haircut details, so it's one less thing for you to worry about. And when I see that confidence at the end of the cut, that's everything to me.
As a stylist, I know it can be hard to find time for a haircut. With the Great Clips app, you can put your name on the list from anywhere and head to the salon when it's time for your cut. A great haircut plus more time for what you love. That's Great Clips.
At comprehensive cancer centers, the most advanced treatments and breakthrough research are helping our patients thrive. But some of our most powerful treatments are preventative. This begins together in our community through awareness, outreach, education, and support. From healthier living and self-checks to screening for early detection, we can now find and treat some cancers before they strike. We're doing this together, Southern Nevada, and teamwork saves lives.
Sean St. Jacques, Chris Nurse, still catching our breath here in Las Vegas. A heart-stopping ending here. Sees New Mexico, after throwing away a 2-0 lead, going back and snatching the points with a last-second winner. Full-time highlights here. We dive right in. 52nd minute, Chris, and while it was a big miscue from the lights that allowed Mackenzie Gaines to tap in the opener.
Yeah, it was needless. This goal didn't need to be given away at this moment. From the flick to the clearance, what do you ask him to do in that situation? He's got no other choice but to put it in the back of the net for you. 1-0.
A few minutes later, another mistake, another tap in. Greg Hurst this time after the great effort by Vargas.
Vargas, tenacious here. See, the first pass doesn't go through. Again, poor defending on this occasion. Singer swings and misses after trying to shield the ball for the goalkeeper. And Vargas just runs in, lays it off for his teammate, buries it 2-0.
Vegas dead and buried, right? Wrong. Valentin Noel to Johnny Rodriguez for his first Vegas goal, minutes after.
Just lifts this up over the defense, and Rodriguez, who worked tirelessly all night, got some of the rewards for his work rate, gets his team back in the game, 2-1.
And then all the momentum after this Rodriguez finish shifted. It was lights attack after attack. Joe Zhao would equalize.
Thought this cross was overhit, but Zhao, great control at the back post, gets it out his feet, just finesses it into the far corner of the net. Past 10 back is the equalizing goal. We thought that was it, but it wasn't quite.
There was one more late twist, and at the moment, and we'll see the Joe Zhao goal again, what a finish. That made it 2-2. Felt like the lights had stolen it. At the moment, this is going down as a Will Seymour tap-in. That might get reviewed. It looked like it might have been already over the line from Vargas. Really, it doesn't matter from a United point of view. They steal it in stoppage time.
Yeah, if you reflect on that last corner kick, you're going to see there's two players in and around the near post area. They're on the post, they're off the post. Either way, the ball's whipped into that area, and it ends up in the back of the net. Heartbreak in the final seconds of the game, just when you thought Las Vegas had fought back and managed to get away with a point. But what a great game. I don't think the statistics tell the true story. It looks heavily in favor of New Mexico, but that wasn't really the true story of the game. Las Vegas allowed New Mexico to have possession of the ball in moments, won it at moments, and attacked in the right way. A great opening game for the USL Championship. I think that could maybe be one of the games of the year, reflecting later on. But both teams definitely put a forward step today. For Las Vegas, just tighten up defensively. I think we'll see some great results from them this season.
This game was circled on the calendar before any games have been played for a reason. Dennis Sanchez's big return to Las Vegas after leading them to a Western Conference final last year. To say it delivered the drama would be an understatement. New Mexico win it by 3-2 for Chris Nurse and our entire crew. I'm Sean St. Jacques. We say so long after what could be one of the games of the season.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.